gamers, it's time for the news. Studio update September 2023. Bit of a mini studio update today. Just talking about some of the in-game events, telling us that the next patch is less than 2 months away, and something about World vs. World alliances. So, let's get into what's going on here. Greetings, Tyrians. On the 28th, we celebrated the 11th anniversary of Guild Wars 2's launch. Wow, 11 years! We've been playing this game for a while, huh? And while any anniversary is cause for celebration, this year's anniversary was made even more special by the launch of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, our 4th expansion. It's truly a privilege to be able to continue supporting Guild Wars 2 into its 11th year and beyond. And the strong support of our community makes that possible. Not only did we launch Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure on August 22nd, but we also transitioned to a new approach for releasing expansion content that will help ensure we can deliver game updates more consistently for areas of the game. So far, things are going even better than expected. In fact, so many people turned up to play Soto on launch day that we had to quickly spin up more game servers than we had to. Games alive, guys. Wow, insane. Anticipated needing to accommodate the influx of players. The dust has settled, and we're still focusing on addressing lingering issues from the launch but and triaging feedback. We have one more bug fix scheduled for September. One more bug fix build, not one more bug fix. I hope not, anyway. For September 26th, then we'll be turning our full attention to the next major quarterly release, which as of today is less than 2 months away. Pretty cool stuff. And, of course, there's a balance patch on September 26th as well. Now, I'm actually a little bit scared that they're going to focus on Soto bugs rather than all bugs. I'm only a little bit scared, though. If they don't fix the fractal bugs, for those who are unaware, every fractal challenge mode right now has pretty severe bugs in it that have kind of popped up after the expansion. I think Nightmare Fractal's more or less okay. All the other ones, not so much. So I really hope they fix those. But anyway, what happens? I mean, you tell me, ArenaNet. Well, I don't know. What happens in between? Well, basically, what's going to happen in between is you're going to have the new Wizards Vault stuff, and you're going to have bonus events here as well. And this is quite interesting here. We'll be updating some of our existing bonus events to reduce the amount of manual developer effort required to run them. And they want to add some new ones as well. I think that's actually pretty cool. So let's actually kind of read between the lines here. They want to automate these. They want to have these like rotating round on like 2 weeks, weekly basis, monthly basis, without them having to really put a lot of dev time in. So they're investing some dev time into making that happen. I think that actually is really good. I think this was a system that we saw in Guild Wars 1 that was extremely effective, various bonus weekends and so on. They're still going to this day because they're totally automated. So having that in Guild Wars 2, I think it's actually a really good idea. I think having different activities like fractals, strike missions, dungeons, certain open world maps, like different expansion maps, living world maps, kind of rotate around as bonus weekends. It's actually a really good idea. I think that's one of the best ways they can kind of inject some variety in the game and really kind of move players about the place and keep people engaged. Again, you know, I always bring this up, but we saw this with Season of the Dragons. Season of the Dragons was not good content. It was like chop 10 trees in a living world map. But it's MMO content, right? It's good content for another reason, because it gets players playing the game and you have that large-scale experience with everyone kind of doing the same thing. And that's really fun. It's really exciting to be a part of something like that. So this is definitely a really good thing. I'm a big fan, actually. And also, look, different types of events. We've seen PvP Rush before and like World vs. World bonus weekends. So looks like they're actually open to basically having anything go on there as well, which I think is pretty cool. Fractal Rush is going right now. Oh, they're probably going to nerf all the rewards, which does make me a little bit sad. I guess all the rewards are going to be pretty mediocre for these things because they nerf Fractal Rush pretty hard. But you know what? I guess if they're doing them all the time, they can't just be like giving you free stuff. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I'll begrudgingly admit that kind of makes a little bit of sense there as well. Here's a fun one. Oh boy. Okay. World versus World restructuring and alliances. Since 2021, the World vs. World team has spent most of their time working on the World Restructuring System, a World vs. World infrastructure overhaul intended to produce fairer and more engaging matchups for World vs. World. It's a complicated system which you can learn more about here. This is one of their old blog posts. I've talked about it on this channel, so you could go and watch my video so I could read it to you as well. Double the reading. Up until recently, we have been considering the Alliance Management UI a required part of shipping the world restructuring system, which means that players are not currently getting much value from all of the work we've already put in. Many of the back-end functions for balance and matchmaking already work at the World vs. World guild level. It's extremely valuable for us to get live, consistent data from players about how it's working for them, so getting that system permanently online is now our first priority. With the reprioritization, we will not be opening the Alliance system to beta testing this year. We will refocus on delivering an always-on version of world restructuring to players as soon as possible. From there, we want to evaluate the new player experience, collect your feature requests, and monitor live data to allow us to make world restructuring the best system that it can be. One major priority in the perpetually active version of world restructuring is growing and tuning the various criteria used for matchmaking throughout our world versus world teams. Our goal here is to build a system with enjoyable experiences across a variety of player types so matchups feel as rewarding as possible. We don't have a timeline now, but we'll keep you updated. Okay, so what are they talking about here? Basically, there was going to be an Alliance's beta, not anymore this year at least, and they're really going to be focusing on world restructuring. Now, there's a lot of ways to interpret this. There's a bit of play in this, so let's kind of have a go. It seems like they just want to get something on the table. I think they want World vs. World players to see that, hey, we're actually working on World vs. World. I think a lot of World vs. World players feel like there's nothing going on, and ArenaNet want to bring all the back-end stuff forward and just get it in there. Now, the other end of this, okay, the other end of interpreting this, and I have to admit, I do lean in this direction as well. I wonder if they're reconsidering alliances a little bit. And they're thinking that world restructuring as an entity might actually be a better idea. Now, but to be clear, I do not have insider information here whatsoever. This is pure speculation. I want to be very clear here. But it seems like they might actually be kind of... They want to get this on the table, see how it goes, see if it kind of solves the same problems that alliances solve. In other words, like better matchups, more freedom with, you know, like player association and so on. And they're going to leave it there, see if it works, and then if it doesn't, then maybe they'll do alliances. If it does work, then that might be as far as they go. So just as a bit of a quick recap, world restructuring is basically adding a matchmaker to world versus world. So it basically tries to put players of the same type and even stuff like skill level, and it puts blocks of players together into that kind of setup, and then it matches them about the place. Basically, it's world versus world with a little bit of matchmaking thrown in to increase match quality. Again, if you want to learn more about it, you can actually just go read. There's like a massive in-depth post, which they even link here, so you can go and have a look at that. But I think they're going to try that out and see if it works. Because alliances, it's an absolute albatross for ArenaNet. They've been working on this for 5.5 years, more or less. So a little bit brutal. And I actually want to say something here as well. This is really important. If ArenaNet, as a developer, are saying, alliances might not be the way to go after all, we're going to go this direction instead and focus on world restructuring, that is not actually inherently a bad thing. You know, we shouldn't look at that and go like, oh, dead, dead, dead. You know, oh, look, they're abandoning it. They're completely abandoning it. Changing your mind and looking at evidence and changing your development strategy based on that is actually something that should be praised. We've all seen game devs, like, completely zone in on an idea and train wreck an entire system because they're too stubborn and they've got too much ego attached to an idea to change it. Like, and if that does happen, we got to think about that, right? Like, if this is actually a better way to go, or ArenaNet have looked at this and said, yeah, this might be a redirection, you know, this original idea might not be as good as we initially thought it to be, that's actually something that is worthy of praise. Now, if this system doesn't work, or it still takes 1 million years to get into the game, then that sucks. And again, to be fair, they're not saying that alliances are completely dead here. They're saying that we're changing the priority a little bit to get this system out the door, right? That's quite a lot of reading there on my end. But hey, look, that's what I'm here for, right? And it's entirely possible that they just want to get something in the game, and alliances are going to be coming down the line as well at some point. But oh well. That's kind of what I think about what they're saying here. It's pretty interesting. I hope they continue. We need some real clear communication on this. I think this is where we could really use like a full developer Q&A live stream almost, so they can be really clear about their goals and kind of where they're at with this development. This feels a little bit mushy, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably going to rustle people a fair bit, and I think that's fair, right? You know, people are going to be a little bit like, it's dead, it's over. It's because it's a bit wishy-washy, right? You know, it's not exactly super precise with what's going on here in this regard. And that's it. You got bonus events. We got little mini pseudo update. You got Halloween, guys. Okay, you got the next major update. We got the update about the new update coming soon as well. And also, look at this, guys. You know, this is actually very wholesome. A hybrid office, many employees working entirely from home. Everyone's getting together, having a good time, learning and work together. Basically, it looks like they're having some kind of corporate event. Team building, very good stuff. And this means that we're going to be a little bit quieter on official channels. Now, this is actually very wholesome. But look, I'm here. I'm the cynical observer. This means that there's not going to be a lot of communication for a little while, basically. So people are probably going to panic a little bit, but they're basically saying, don't panic. Everything's fine. We're just having, you know, we're doing some team building. Let's go. You know, for the hybrid office experience there as well. You know, a little bit quieter than usual. That's, you know, not saying that much, right? Considering that things are usually pretty quiet in general, but yeah, there you go. We'll see you in Tyria, the Guild Wars 2 team. You love to see it. Fantastic gameplay. And that's actually the update. A little bit of a mini one there. I do think that the major thing is actually going to be waiting, of course, for that next update, which, you know, this is a prediction, by the way. These are all predicted based on the Wizards Vault timings. Here, the next update is going to be new story, new map, Cosmic Observatory, the first Strike Mission Challenge with new mastery line, new armor set, new relics, and Rift convergences. Could definitely be pretty interesting to see what's happened there. They're basically like Dragonstorm instance version of Rifts. Could be very interesting, I think, potentially. But yeah, that's an update 1, so that's kind of what they're talking about. Less than 2 months away. So that is probably going to be dropping early November then, which again would kind of line up with that prediction. But yeah, it could very well be on the 7th. Again, that's kind of taken from this date here, the special tab, when that expires, 53 days, which again is less than 2 months. So if you're wondering where people's guesses are coming from, that's where people's guesses are coming from in that regard when it comes to the next update. But anyway, I guess that'll do it for now. Let me know what you think about all of this in here. What do you think about alliances? What do you think about weekly or bi-weekly or monthly special automated events? It's an interesting one, okay? An interesting one. An interesting one indeed, okay? Hopefully everyone's not too doom about this or not too rustled about the situation that we find ourselves in. Hopefully we get some good bug fixes, good balance patch. It's going to be great, guys. It's going to be fantastic. But anyway, that's it for now. The news is done. The news is officially over. That's right. It's done. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Boom!